Good morning. We've come to the last movement of the cantata Wachet Auf unsere Stimme. It's the seventh movement, and this chorale ends, or this cantata ends with the chorale that the whole thing was based on. Now, I failed to mention yesterday that in the fourth movement there is a very famous melody being played by the violins, or the orchestra, if you will. While the tenor section is singing the melody of the hymn. They're singing it as a cantus firmus, a strong song, but that melody that the orchestra is playing is more famous. And the reason it became so famous, probably, is because Bach later used it in his Schubert chorales. I think there's 6 of them, maybe. It's in the first one. They're chorales written for the organ. And I say QV. You could go check that out. I don't know if I'll give you a link. It's easily found on YouTube. It's just 3 voices, so an organist can play it fairly easily. I can't, but an organist can. And the melody, I first learned it as an obligato when another melody, which is not the critical one, is going along there. But there might be a better word for it. That's why I put a question mark. I think the piccolo part in the Star Spangled Banner is similar, although that might be called. Yeah, see, that's a descant. I'm not a professional musician or music teacher. Okay. Anyway, I'd ask you to start at the 24th minute, 21st second, and this time there aren't as many portraits. I'm calling them portraits on the part of the cameraman or the film editor. Well, there's a reason for that. Now that what they're singing is homophonic, not polyphonic. That is, everyone is singing together, like a hymn is sung normally in a church. The opening movement was polyphonic, where you had different voices coming in at different times, and so the camera correctly was watching the score or knew what they were doing, and they could spot where those various voices were coming in, so you had more portraits. I think the noun is homophony and versus polyphony. I hope I'm pronouncing these right. These are not words that people use every day. And the voices are doubled. I should have boxed that. That's a musical term. The voices are doubled by the instruments. The orchestra is not playing something different. They're playing the same notes that the voices are singing. So this is pretty straightforward. Now I'm going to cut and discuss the German text that's being sung. So I'll be right back. Gloria sei dir gesungen. Glory be to you sung. Glory be. Now, I suspect that this is what is called the subjunctive form. Let it be. Let it be. It's or command. That would be imperative. Yeah. Be to you sung. To you. Now, I think it's interesting that in German you can have, this is the familiar you, there's also the formal you, and in addressing God, you might think, oh, that's got to be formal, or Jesus. No, it's familiar, dear, because he's dear, he's familiar, he's part. Gesungen, sung. Glory be to you sung, mit Menschen und englischen Zungen, with with men. Now that's capitalized. Or I should say with. See, there's man and there's Menschen with peoples. Maybe I should say with people, because man in German with people. In English, we don't capitalize our noun, people. And that looks like English. It's of the angels. How do you say that in English? Angelic. And angelic tongues. people and angelic tongues. Oh, cat, you can learn German, but you can't block the camera. Cat. This is an F. Mit Harfen und mit Zimbeln, Zimbeln, not sure. Zimbeln schon. With harps. And with cymbals. Now schon, I had to look that up. Schon in my German means already. Which is funny in English to say with harps and cymbals already. Which is like slang. Well, it also means even. It can also mean even. So in this case, so even with harps and cymbals, cat? Von 12 Perlen sind die Pforten. From or of 12, I'll write it out so that you can see the 12, the similarity. Cat. Pearls are the portals, we would say. Pforten. Pforten, that PF is something that, all right, stay there now. You don't say that in English, Pforten. That combination of consonants. An deiner Stadt, at your city. At your city. And actually the sentence stops there. This is, what is this called? Enjambment. Because now this goes on. Wir sind Konsorten. I didn't look this up. But this is a new thought. We are consorts. We are in the company. Well, it's in English, the cognate would be consorts. We are with them. Of the angels. Of the angels. And here you can see Englischen, Engel. Of the angels high, around your throne. Every time I see meaning around, I think of that expression, in und herum. There's a city in Germany called and that's a tongue twister in Germany. In und herum, roundabout. Well, okay, not beside the point. All right, there's a few more words to deal with here, so I'm going to cut and I'll be right back. Okay, the cat's gone. Got bored with German. Kein Auge hat je gespürt. No eye, Auge would be that's what's omitted. Has yet seen. Spüren means to touch or to notice. So, but an eye can catch sight of too. I didn't know that. I just kind of found out an eye can touch something. So let's see. No eye has yet touched. I'm going to put touch because that's about the closest that English has got. Sensed maybe. Kein Ohr, ear, hat je gehört, heard. Solche Freude, such joy. Des sind wir froh. Des is possessive, and my translation of this is of that are we happy. Des sind wir, of which it seems to me you might say deswegen or something. Of which are we happy? E-O, E-O, that's an exclamation. Whoopee, whoopee, hooray. Jubel. Auf Deutsch you could say Juhu, EO, EO. I'm pretty sure this is archaic. I don't think people might look at you a little strangely if you went around in German saying EO, EO. But anyway, yeah, that's what it is. Can't be translated. Ewig in dulce jubilo. Always, eternally, or always. Eternity is Ewigkeit. In dulce jubilo, I underlined it because that's not German, that's not English, that's Latin. In sweet jubilation. In dulce jubilo, ho ho, in da. You might know that Christmas carol. Well, it's also used in German. All right, there you go. I'll piece this together, and we will have discussed. I will have discussed the choral parts of Bach's cantata Wachet Auf, ruft uns die Stimme. I'll show you what's coming next, probably tomorrow.